You
Nothing
do feel
else.
very at peace. As if nothing else is really going to go wrong. Maybe.
Maybe.
I can't promise anything.
Caleb tries to dismantle the generator and it explodes and kills them all.
Turns out the generator was actually a C-bomb and this time you failed.
Everything's now a C-bomb.
Yeah, we got in the first session we got the curse of the sea mine, where it always seems like we encounter sea mines wherever we go. You're like opening up your lunch that you packed for yourself that morning and there's a sea mine.
Yep. You open up a sea mine and there's a sea mine inside.
You are able to, well, where would you like to look first?
I'm going to take the weapon that I had before and I'm just going to stab into the lock with it.
Oh, off the barn doors?
Yes.
Logan's gonna put an arm on Ruben's shoulder. You sure you wanna look in there?
I have to find out everything I can.
Doc, you've seen enough. Let me take a look inside.
Ruben kind of just nods and hands him the weapon.
Logan is intentionally doing that because he fully expects that there's gonna be a mountain of corpses in there and they're probably all fucking severed and hacked to pieces. So, Ruben's been through enough, let's not have him see that as well. So Logan's gonna bust the lock and take a look inside.
What you suspected is exactly what you see. A mountain of corpses. Children, women, men, all since mummified by the chilling and dry winds of the desert above. They are all laying in an eternal rest.
Logan's just gonna slowly close the door and he's gonna keep a poker face and just say nothing of interest there, let's move on.
Ruben kind of has a moment of hesitation, but he just goes, all right.
I'd like to grab one of the weapons as well and try to get the wings off of the beast.
As Ruben
Sure to carve more off, okay.
As Ruben is walking away, Logan's gonna turn back towards the door. I'm not sure, since lore-wise we haven't discussed it, but is religion a thing? Or, you know, prayers or stuff?
Religion is just as varied as it is pretty much now. Of course, there's new gods and stuff and the like. Basically, sun worship is rather big right now.
Okay, let's keep it simple and traditional. He's just gonna quickly carve out a small cross there, you know, as a resting place, and you know, just indicate that this is a resting place and stuff, and just leave it at that.
Nice upside down cross, some hexagons.
No. Normal crosses. Shame on you. And he's gonna leave that room as is. It's not
So
like
do you So basically, do you claim what you can from the cellar?
Well, apart
That sounds good.
Apart from the spear-like weapons, I think there was nothing else noteworthy. So.
Right.
Any extra tools that he had?
I will mark this down. Don't worry, I'm marking down your loot, and you will get. I'll basically share it with you in a few, so you can keep doing stuff. Just say what you gather, and I'll add it to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to get the, like I said, the wings off of the Azure Beast, and if he had any interesting tools over at the workstation, I'd grab those.
Yeah, I guess before we leave, Ruben would he already took a tissue sample from the co-pilot from Alex, so he would probably go around, he'd grab like whatever tissue is remaining of the Azure Beast, he'd probably try to find a sample of that as well.
In the meantime, while they're doing all that, I want to take another look at the journal that I picked up. Near the end, when it stopped, you know, a little bit before he stopped writing things down. Just a yes and no answer. Has he gone into details about what happened to the people that are in that room?
How do you mean?
Has he mentioned what he has done to them, or is he like basically just writing down his final thoughts and such, or is he going into some kind of fucking Hannibal Lecter shit?
Oh, no, just final thoughts.
Just final thoughts, nothing that's super creepy and it's gonna mentally scar you.
No.
In that case, Logan's gonna walk up to Ruben and say, "Here, I think this belongs to the person that that watch belongs to, so I figured you might want to take a look."
Ruben kind of is like thumbing through it, just kind of going page to page, and he just kind of goes. He like nods and he's like, "Yes." It's like I think we need to. People need to know what happened here.
Like I said, up to you, Doc. You found the watch, so I'm just happy to get out of this place.
Caleb leans over, pretending to read the journal, and just announces out loud, "It says here, babies' brains taste better than adult brains."
That's not very funny.
If you wish to know, there is an actual entry of him like thinking on it, like I need to survive, but he turned to basically deciding to eat the Azure Beast despite the risk of mutation.
So, would I don't know if you want me to roll. Would Ruben get the impression that if you consume something from an Azure Beast, that you start to take on their properties?
This is a point of contention because no one has tried it. No one's crazy enough to try eating an Azure Field Beast. So this is probably new information and may lead to new scientific discoveries.
Ruben,
I find it hard to believe that none of the corporations have been running Black Ops, capturing Wastelanders, and doing those experiments on them.
Yeah, okay.
Caleb trusts them, but I don't.
Public scientific knowledge. It's more
hopefully, hopefully some good can come out of this whole situation if we can prevent accidents like this in the future. And he just kind of like does the whole like close. I don't know if he even has eyelids anymore, but he just kind of like touches the forehead of Alex and sets him in a peaceful position, even though he's missing one of his arms. And he just lightly buries him with sand before Ruben makes his way out.
Did we ever actually check the fuselage of the plane?
What was it? Is it down here, or would we? I think we have to climb upstairs. Then I think we walk past it to go down here.
You basically were in it before, in the seats, but you decided to go towards the wing first, where the power was coming from.
It might be worth giving that place, that whole area, once over as well.
Yeah, it would be fine if we find some valuables. I mean, all we found was these weird looking weapons, and I don't know if they'll fetch a good price for our trouble, so...
There's probably some luggage in the overhead bins, but be careful opening them, because the contents may have shifted over the course of the flight.
Yeah, fair point. I mean,
from
what we've
somebody's
seen,
lingerie might spill out.
From what we've seen, it was a bumpy ride. Logan is totally not...
I mean, any landing you can walk away from, technically.
But yeah, Logan's not too keen on checking out the room with corpses because he's not a grave robber, but checking their personal luggage and lingerie, fuck yeah, let's see if we find something.
Well, there are a few luggage things here, but they've all been raided by Alex, but not all of them are here.
It does remind me, out of character, it does remind me of this thing I saw on Pinterest actually earlier today that said, how long do you have to wait before grave robbing becomes an archaeological dig?
I think that this point is probably good, you know, over 100
I
years.
think the difference is if you know there's something there, it's grave robbing. If you don't know it's something there, then it's archaeological discovery.
Yeah, Ruben
We could
kind of
learn
like
so much about how people 150 years ago lived by examining their corpses.
jeez. Ruben's gonna kind of like pull all the monster bits and all the other samples, kind of load them. I guess we'd load them into Caleb's truck since it probably has more space in the back to hold all this stuff. And then
Sure.
yeah, he's gonna mull around. He's kind of like quiet, very quietly, just kind of following the other guys and helping them go through stuff to see if there's anything else of interest. Is the engine still running? Like, is it still apparent that we have power in this plane?
Yeah, the small amount of generator power is there as well. It's only a small generator, you know, designed for things like lights and stuff, but you could remove it with a mechanics check. It's a 4, no, wait a minute, no, 3, yeah, there we go. I was looking at my notes. It's a 3 difficulty chance.
Give it a shot.
You can disassemble basically the wing part and pull out the generator. It would take 2 people to carry it over to the van and basically load it up in the... Well, you can't load it up into the very back, but you can load it up into the middle.
I'll give him a hand. It's not like I've got anything better to do.
Right? You basically move it on and place it down. You can now see around, as since you're outside, that the fires have died by this point. The sparks have stopped. It's silent.
I'm actually curious. I want to examine one of the places where the fires were going. Like, is there any sign of the fires that were burning, or is like there? It's like there was nothing there at all.
There doesn't seem to be, like, there seems to be ancient scorch marks, but no recent burn marks.
That's kind of interesting. It's an interesting way to discern it, because that means that the fires were basically something like an illusion. It definitely shows that at some point they did happen, but after a while they weren't actually real anymore.
Well, they were real to Alex.
Yeah, that's interesting too.
Yeah, I'll have to give it some thought. Ruben kind of like mulling, because Alex obviously at the time of his passing was highly mutated, and all of it focused in the most important item to it at the time, his father's watch. He's kind of like shaking a bit. He's like, I'll have to try to piece together what that means.
Meanwhile, Caleb, ever the weapons manufacturer, is thinking to himself how amazing that would be for combat applications if you could just think fire into existence.
Off in the distance, mutants chuckle.
Yeah, pyrokinesis, that's just what we need.
Anyway, we should hurry up. It's gonna start getting dark soon, and we don't want to be caught out here in the desert.
Did we go through the luggage compartments? Was that established?
You can roll perception, basically.
Oh, okay.
Let's see how well.
Normal difficulty?
It's... Yeah, it's not exactly hard to break into and search somebody's luggage, so... The only difficulty I'm gonna have, like, basically the difficulty is, how much you find are intact.
Not much for me.
Wait, why do I have a blue die? Never mind.
It's blank anyway, so I'll allow it. I suspect Ruben's more going over the watch and worrying over that, yeah?
Yeah, he's just gonna kind of once Ruben is confident that this place isn't there's no more danger, he's just gonna kind of make his way back to the truck, so quietly.
Right, essentially, Logan, as you search, you were still pissed about not getting your drink within the dream, so you went to first class and started searching around. Well, Caleb found some rather nice lotions and the like inside of the clothes baggage of people. He also found a nice dress as well. That was lovely. And around about 50 credits that still worked. The other data sticks crashed.
Does
You,
the
on the other
dress-
hand,
Does the dress fit his eye colors?
yes, it does. It's lovely.
It complements.
it's-
Perfect.
Yeah, it's a nice green color.
Still intact after 150 years. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it seems to be made out of a rather nice material, like very resilient. Logan, you on the other hand, you were lucky as you ran up and basically went to the cabin where all the food and stuff was stored. And on your way past, you grabbed somebody's luggage and started searching through it and the like. You found around about, let's see, this wall. You found about 300 credits in everybody at first class's luggages.
Nice.
Let's see. You also find in the food compartment around about 20 bags of peanuts, 2 bottles of 1 bottle of whiskey, 1 bottle of wine, and 1 bottle of vodka.
Right, just a sec. Whiskey, wine, vodka times 1, peanuts times 20.
Yes. You however the wine is out of date.
That's fine. It can be used for other means.
So yeah, that's basically what you find. Around 150-year-old whiskey. Well, roundabout, it's actually almost 200 years old, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were serving brand new whiskey. That's horrible.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's around about 200 years. 200 years aged whiskey and vodka.
That'd be incredibly expensive.
And I'm gonna
Yeah, we
have a
could
lot
sell
of
that
fun
to one of
drinking
those
it.
guys up in the penthouse.
And we're not going to be able to. They're being incredibly expensive, and we do not have the slightest hope of ever prying it away from Logan.
Nope. Gonna drink that, gonna enjoy it to the fullest. Next
We're gonna
time
do
we're
a
sitting
victory
around the campfire eating some roadkill and just enjoying the wastelands. We're gonna have a bottle of super expensive whiskey that's totally not appropriate, but it's gonna happen anyway.
It's after
May I
a nice
request
day.
that we at least save it for a good celebration and not something quite that pointless?
Tell you what, if we run out of all other alcohol, we're gonna have no choice, but otherwise, I'll consider it.
After all, you
We'll
still
try to
have
keep
vodka.
our bar well stocked.
The peanuts seem to be in date somehow.
I mean, God knows what kind of shit they injected into them, so...
Airplane peanuts, man, they last forever, and they come in these tiny little packets.
I think they
In
can also
fact-
kill people if you throw them hard enough, so...
By the way, 20 of them, they count as 1 ration, okay? They are small packets.
So basically 20 packets count as 1 ration?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
They're in tiny packets.
I mean, yeah, planes are fucking cheapskates, so you know.
Yep.
Do the packets say, warning may contain nuts?
Yes, it does.
Oh my god, is that a real thing?
Yes, it is. It's oh my god. I can buy a packet of peanuts and it says warning may contain nuts. No shit, that's why I buy them.
Holy shit!
I would
I'd be
certainly
more-
hope so.
I'd be nervous if it said warning may not contain.
It's like, wait, what? So I should fucking hope so. Anyway,
mean,
yeah.
Isn't that kind of weird though? If I'm buying something and it says, for instance, I'm trying to get some fucking water and it says warning may contain water, isn't that a little bit on the fucking nose? Like I think, why? What's it supposed to be in there? I'm worried now.
Now there are
Because you know some asshole sued.
now there are other food. There's another food item here that I didn't mention because, well, not even Alex wanted this food item. As despite it being in date, it's basically one of those chicken ready meals they have on planes.
Oh god, no! It's a chicken
Yeah.
dinner, isn't it?
Yeah, wouldn't even eat that before turning to eat.
Yeah,
Let me
Alex,
guess, the fucking chicken meal is in mint condition, as if it's a McDonald's burger. It just never goes wrong.
Yeah, it's not even moldy, aged, or anything. It looks like brand new. I mean, it may need heating up, but it would probably taste like eating plastic.
How much of that is chemical and how much of that is real food? I don't think I need an answer to that question.
Well, whatever it was definitely meant for the less first-class passengers, that's for sure.
Now that I'm thinking about snacks, though, Caleb is going to definitely poke around to see if he can find any Twinkies.
Yeah, that's something that would survive a nuclear blast as well.
I tell you what, with that advantage, I would say you could find a pack of 3 Twinkies inside of a child's backpack.
I will take those.
You used to
I
see a
think
Lunchable,
Twinkies
but
do
sadly that's gone off.
expire.
Not in my imagination, they don't.
No, remember, these are future Twinkies. They have an even
Alright.
longer expiration date.
The only difference between our Twinkies and future Twinkies is that our Twinkies, if you leave them alone for many years, they'll just turn into fine alcohol. But the future Twinkies, they just preserve themselves. So there you go.
So, yeah, you do find Twinkies. There's also a Lunchable in the pack, but that's sadly gone off.
Ooh, you know what we should actually do is see if there's any fuel left in the reserves, because Azure's expensive.
Wouldn't
Oh,
that
in
be
the
in the
plane?
generator?
Not in the generator, just in the plane itself.
Ah.
I would say while you were taking apart the generator, you would see that it was barely running on fumes before, and that may have been because of the anomaly.
Alright, yeah.
You know what my little bandit needs? Plane fuel.
What's that? Jet fuel in my car? What a brilliant idea!
I'm pretty sure the engine would just explode immediately.
Yes, but for those brief 2 or 3 seconds, I will be fast as the wind.
Not fast.
You'll be going even faster when the explosion sends you through the air.
Yeah!
Witness me!
So, is there anything else you wish to do at this location? It is
Yes.
now quiet.
I want to go back to the car and give Bubba a bag of peanuts.
Bubba looks less scared than he did before, as if he can just sense, like, oh, it's fine now. Master did well, and you can see him. "Arr, arr," and he, as soon as you chuck him a bag of peanuts, you can see him like holding it down with one paw and ripping it open with like his mouth. Peanuts just spray all over the passenger seat, and he's like, "Arr, arr, arr, arr,"
You
eating
better
them all
pick
up.
those up. If there's a peanut left, I'm gonna be mad.
He's busy eating all the peanuts he can. He's just finding them all and
God, now that I think about it, wasn't that a bad idea? Isn't he gonna get gas?
Oh, definitely.
Oh shit. Hey, Caleb, Bubba says he's tired of riding in my car, he wants to ride in yours.
Well, there's only 2 seats up front, so he's gonna have to be okay riding in the cab.
He's fine, don't worry about him. He's a big boy. Oh, also here's some peanuts. I'm gonna toss both Ruben and Caleb a bag of peanuts as well.
He's kind of like glancing at the bag, glancing at Caleb. You can have this if you want. I don't trust my ability to digest this.
All right, thanks.
Right. I'll be in my car, ready to move out when you guys are ready.
Yeah,
We just heading straight back to town now, I assume.
Oh, unless Ruben wants to drop by his new friend and chat with him again. I mean, I guess I could
right,
go
yeah,
for some
yeah.
more water.
Yeah, drop by Robo.
Speaking of which, did we need to check back in with your friend and let him know what we found here?
Don't worry, on our way back I'm gonna contact him. Usually it's not okay to contact long distance out in the waste since everybody can pick that up. Once we're back in the city, I'm just gonna have Eddie call him up and tell him what we found.
Okay, and you guys head on out, do you?
Yes.
Soon enough, you leave behind the decimated plane, taking the evidence of what happened here with you, and hopefully Alex's wish that everybody knows what happened.